Hello, this is Gabriel and Icon of the Confit Global Consulting, and I am so proud and so happy to be alive today. And I believe that the God of heaven, who is the God who controls all the universe, is as well the God that stands even during the time of challenge and difficulties and sorrows and darkness. You know, in today's world today, many people claim to know God. They claim to be good people, but there are too many fakings and too many talking with no action. Today, President Trump signed a very good deal that I never heard in my life. I mean, in my young life, 200 more than 200 billion invested from Saudi Arabia, from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia into America. You know, when God have anointed the person to be in position, you have to accept it and just move forward. Donald Trump didn't put a gun in their head to say, I want you to invest. Many presidents went there before him. Never happened before. Never. More than 200 billion. I mean, more than 200 billion, that is never heard before. That's what I can say. Who can allow those kind of things? Beside God. You guys are worried about job. If people don't invest in the United States of America, our economy might have difficulties because our economy is based on capitalism. Capitalism is you get the money in, you spend. You get money in, you spend. Get money in, you spend. You don't save too much. Okay? But it is a clustered economy because that's the way we do the business here. Now, why do the Saudi are investing that kind of money in our economy? Is because they know Trump is a businessman and he know how to run business. He know how to run business. We are damaging the Trump presidency here in America, and we are forgetting that he was chosen by God to be there to lead this nation. You tell me, even the Saudi, they said their government, their kingdom never invested in any country and in any deal around the world since their creation. Okay? So you tell me, more than 200 billion invested in the American economy. Big firm. You wake up saying you're going to go work for people. You're going to go work for people where the money comes from. At a certain point, money going to run out if you don't have enough profit. And in order, when the economy start having some issue, in order to revitalize the economy, we have to invest in area where the potential of gaining is higher. So that's the reason why that investment was very important, to create new area within certain programs so that new job can be created, and then some people can be hired, and then the economy can grow back again in a certain way. You know, and everything starts when I am the only one so far in America to pinpoint that how come certain people within our national security will be involved in doing illegal surveillances and illegal disseminations of informations, classified information, and nobody talk about it. You listen to CNN, into MSNBC, they are talking about illegal information and assaulting the president without even pinpointing that, hey, what we're talking about is actually illegal information that we receive. Will you be happy if somebody brought up, or the Washington Post have your information, your health information that you didn't declare to the federal government or to your employee, and saying that you have a certain condition? Now, before you get hired, they always ask you a question: do you have any condition that can hinder your ability to function into this job? So if that information come out, you have lied into the employer and you have lied into the workforce. Then the information came out. There are two different crimes that happen if that information came out. First of all, the HIPAA law has been broken, has been violated. That's the first violation of the law. The second one is that you broke the law because you lied to your employee that you didn't have any condition. Now, let's go to the next one. You have an academic record that has been released. Let's say New York Times. Now, you have said to your employee that you have taken a course and you have a B in the course, and that course was really important for you to get hired. But the New York Times come up with that leak saying that you have a C on the course and you didn't perform well. Now, it's out there in the public. There are two different laws that have been violated here, broken. The first one, the FEPA law has been broken. The second one is that you have lied to your employee into the federal government if you're working for the federal government. All right? Then you're probably going to lose your job. So the same people are talking about the same kind of condition with the president. There is a law that has been broken here. Illegal dissemination of classified information is a federal felony that people must be able to look. I don't even know what people are going to spend more time on CNN and MSNBC talking about illegal dissemination of classified information like it was something that was authorized. Now the question that I am asking to people working at the Senate and people and those representatives working in Congress and the senator, I'm asking a question: what is in your head? Because you said that what was in Donald Trump's head. I can well assure you that his head is so advanced, because to have a deal like that, more than $200 billion invested here, no president before him, I believe that he's more intelligent than all of us, period. Because that's the facts. The Saudi don't put their money just to put their money. They have to have clauses in whatever they put their money in. So now, what is in your head? Because I don't understand. You have a perjury, a felony, illegal dissemination of classified information from people who are working in the government, who pledge the legend that they will not conspire against their own government, because that's what they're doing. They're supposed to be tracked down, brought to tracked down, be arrested, and be released into our judicial system and be condemned for 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 conspiracy against the government, the United States government, against the president. That's what they're supposed to do. The reason why Jesus Christ told me yesterday, I decided to sleep in my couch. So Jesus Christ came and lived in me. So when his spirit came and became one with my body. So when he does that, he gives me information in a certain order that is determined by the heaven. So the information was this. The reason why Donald Trump fired the FBI director is because the FBI director refused to investigate the illegal dissemination of classified information. Okay? If you take Donald Trump's place and you ask somebody who work for you, even if the director of the FBI don't answer directly to the president, he answer to the attorney general, okay, which is a judicial branch. Okay, Donald Trump is the head of the executive branch, so he have a right because of the branch separation of power. He have the right to pinpoint his view about the matter, because separation of power, there's no conflict of interest. Separation of power. So you have to look at that. If you have separation of power, it means that as part of the executive branch, you can have a suggestion in what you believe. As part of the executive branch, you could have done. You have a suggestion. The president has a suggestion. He have as the head of the executive branch. He can say whatever he believes he should say as part of his job. Now, if he was part of the judiciary branch, then you're going to start talking about conflict of interest. It's different. Second, he is working for the president. You're talking about direct rejection of your boss. So you're rejecting direct order. That's already another reason Trump put up to fire him. So when Trump said that he's a good guy, but he didn't do the job well. He was not as good as people think. That's correct. The director of the FBI, he have to be honest. He's not coming for honest. Why are you refusing to investigate the illegal dissemination of classified information into the public? Because it will not look good for you if somebody share your health information, the communication that you have with your girlfriend in your rooms. You're gonna be mad about it. You refuse to take direct order from the president. He have a right to dismiss you. You refuse to take direct order. I function in the military. I work for this government. I know how it works. You refuse direct order, they can dismiss. He can dismiss you right away in front of you. He was even kind to send you a letter. Sometimes he can even say to you, you refuse direct order from the president, he have a right to dismiss you, and then nothing somebody will do. Okay, so the point is this: illegal dissemination of classified information, illegal surveillances of people, of citizens, is a felony according to our federal laws. So I am saying to the president that he must have a team force that will look into people within the National Security Agency that believe to be above the executive branch to run underground governments of mass surveillances and mass deliverances of classified information in a legal, against the federal laws. So they are doing it because they believe that they're above the government. They're above the president. So the president have to focus on that. And that's the reason why he said to Comey, take the energy that you're putting into the Russian and my campaign, as they have an impact, or they have interfered into the US election. Put that energy into finding people who are within our national security intelligence, releasing those classified information without any permission. He refused. He refused to do that. If I was in the director of the FBI position, I would not be surprised to be fired. I should not even be mad to be fired. He want to go and testify before the Senate. I want to advise him. It might not look good as you think, because they're gonna ask you, as the director, former director of the FBI, this is your main job: domestic felonies activity. That's what you're supposed to look. The CIA is more involved into international affairs and conspiracies. This was the FBI thing. You refuse to do it. So what is the reason that you have a government, you have people within the military, everybody is doing whatever they want to do within the intelligence community? It is an abomination. And it comes back to what I've been writing down. Like, there are people working for the previous administration, infiltrated into the National Security Agency, releasing those information, and Trump have to crack them down because they are working for the previous administration, and they are there try to sack down the president completely. That's what they're doing. And they're doing other work, like they are involved into profiling means and illegally disseminating my information, my health information, my professional information, my military information, my academia information illegally. They're supposed to be arrested and put to jail. And I sent a letter to the Senate Intelligence Committee. I sent a letter to the Congress Intelligence Committee. They have to do their job, because they are acting like people who don't have the brain. I mean, to be honest with you, how far people will go breaking the law to prove the law? How far people will go to breaking the law to prove the law? It's on the complete mismatch of critical thinking. How far people will go to break the law in order for them to prove the law? So in order for people to prove the law, they have to break the law. And people don't look what happened in order for them to even have a conversation on what they have. You know, before you can start talking about Trump release secret information to the Russian, all that, you have to look who released that information in the first place. You have to understand, every single country have to have deals. Whatever people think in DC and people who hate certain ways, you cannot deal with a country and try to find a partnership and bilateral collaboration if you don't share certain information. They will not come along. They will not. Because they want to make sure that they're on the same point. Some people are just going to pay the price for it. It's just what is called collaboration. You want to have a deal with Russia to fight ISIS and to be infiltrated, to understand the Middle East. You have to be able to give up something in order to persuade them to earn their confidence in that operation. Do you believe that Trump left here to go to Saudi Arabia out of the blue? It was already arranged. They have certain thing that he flushed down. Flush down if that's how collaboration is done. Certain thing that you put aside, you flush certain thing, put aside, so that people can advance. Like the thing about the 9/11 they've been involved, put aside. That's what it is. No one will be persecuted. You go to court, you're going to waste your time. It's just the reality. They just invested more than 200 billion in this economy. It's a lot of money. It's more than, I mean, their country that barely have a $30 billion budget. Countries. Okay? Now, Jesus Christ revealed to me a lot of things. He revealed to me a lot of good things. And he said to me that he wants Trump to look into my case and remove the profile that Trump, the previous administration had put in place. That's something he wanted to see, and he will give an ease to President Trump because he have issue here. He have neglected my case a little bit. So God want him to look at it. Trump want him to look at it. Jesus Christ want him to look at it. Very, very simple. It's a blessing from God. It's just the way it is. Because I was wondering what was happening with his situation. I was thinking after 3 months he's going to go there. But he's not. So, as Jesus Christ revealed, he have to look my case. He have to remove that profile. Without that removal of my profile, no company out there who wanted to hire me, wanted to do business with me. Because that profile have to be removed. Whatever need to be done, he have to do it. Because Jesus Christ spoke is what God spoke from his throne. That's exactly what it is. He have to look my case. I sent a letter to him to the way that I sent a letter to the Senate Intelligence Committee. I sent a letter to the Congress Intelligence Committee. They all know. So Trump can look my case, and God gonna take care of the other things for him. That's how it goes. Now, I want all the people. First of all, there was a national unity in the country where I was born. They are very involved into what is happening into my heart, to my life. But Jesus Christ have a message for them. The message is very clear. The message is very clear. Every time that I run, when I am during my suffering and running, that's where God start talking to me. You can put your camera all over the place in that part. It doesn't matter. Okay? Try to get the information they're feeding me. You will not be able to succeed. God is more advanced than you. Now, this is a message from a fellow Cameroonian where I was born. This is what God said. Many of you neglect me. Many of you believe that you're already there. But nobody is there. Everybody is still in the process. The end is the mean of everything. This is a message that I want all of you to get. I already spoke about Trump one. I supported him, and I say what Jesus Christ want him to do for my case. That profile must go. That profile that was created by President Obama must be shut down. It must go. Whatever process that have to be done, I'll be willing to work with them to unclassify all of it. Because there's one reason why the army don't want me to serve No, I mean the Pentagon don't want me to serve because the Air Force is not willing to release my information to the Army. They're doing that for a reason, because they don't want me to get in. Because if I get in, it would destroy the profiling on me. Because they're going to have to give me security clearance once more again. And then security clearance will cancel out the profiling that they have in me. That's why they don't want me to go in. And I understand it. And that's why Jesus Christ said Trump must remove, he must remove that profile in me. And he will give him ease about what's going on. He might neglect what I'm saying, but I beg him not to. Because when God says something, it's what you're gonna experience. It's just what it is. It doesn't gonna change. It just, when God says something, that's what it is. And I hope he get it. You know, I just supported him. I mean, I'm somebody that don't want downfall. And I just want him to know when God speak, I have to speak what he said. Now, for the fellow Cameroonian folks, you have been involved in working for the Cameroonian president, try to hurt me, working with people in certain countries in Africa to put poison in everything I consume. Even in my mother's house, you guys come over there with your poison and put in her food that she cooked for me to eat. I'm telling you, starting by today, it will stop. I will make sure that those kind of circumstances don't happen again. And this is a message God has for all of us. For all of us. And today is the 20th. And God wanted me to say this message. And that all the people in America should listen. There will be a civil war in Cameroon. There will be a form of revolution where we're going to kill each other. We will kill each other. It is coming. It is coming. It might take 5 years. It might take 6 years. It might even take 10 years. But it will come. Now, the only way it can be avoided, because I asked Jesus Christ, there's any way this can be avoided? He said, yes, there's always a way. He said the only way it can be avoided is that from 2018, he said from 2018, the president of Cameroon have 7 years of making a decision. He said to tell you, whoever is listening to this, to go tell him, he gonna have to go see the people they see in the spiritual world. They'll tell him the message of who have to replace him. When he go, I hope he follow that advice. Because if you go otherwise, there will be civil war. That's what it is. So I'm warning him from 2018, when he will be elected again. He have 7 years. Up to 7 years to find that person. That is the only way. God is the one who put people in power. All of you crazy-minded, ignorant people, thinking that you can't just be there because you want to be there. It's God who choose who he put there. So this is the message. It's very simple, but it can be very complicated if our flesh don't bow down into the will of the Spirit. It will be chaos. I'm telling you, we'll be killing each other like freaking crazy folks. I am warning him to get this advice. He have 7 years from 2018. He know where to go. God told me, Jesus Christ, he know where to go to seek advice in a spiritual level. They'll tell him. And when they tell him, Jesus Christ said he have to find that person and start working with him for the preparation of the transition. That's what it is. If you want to go otherwise, he can do that. But God always have it cut up. And I can assure you that the end will not be good. That's what I can say. I am so far now a US citizen. But my placenta was buried down in that land. So I'm attached to it. Okay? So God find me accountable for the thing that goes on there, because you guys have afflicted, intentionally tried to afflict my health. But I am healthy. You who listen to my video, go and talk to the president of Cameroon and inform him this. This is not something that he can avoid. This is not something that he gonna try to change. It is not changeable. It is just what it is. What they haven't said something is what's gonna happen. Even if you go up, you come down, you yell harder, you take all your money, and it doesn't gonna change anything. And Jesus Christ even told me to advise not to even try that. It will not work. Just follow simple advice from above. Go find that person. That person, you will be told who that person is. And with all the ability you have, the power you have and the money, you find him. And then you start preparing him for it. That's what it is. It's all about the best of the nation. Today, we see that God's hand is and will be in Trump administration. For what we've seen so far, with the investment that the Saudi did, it is unprecedented. I've never seen that before. Nobody never seen that before. For one country to put so much money into another country economy, it is only God can do that. Only God can make that happen from his bank in heaven. No one else can do that. So I am advising all the fellow Cameroonians here. You are working conspiracy with the governor of Cameroon. Inform your president. Inform him. Otherwise, we're going to go into a turmoil that only God will help us. The future of Cameroon, as Jesus Christ stated at the end of his communication with me, depend on the present president who is there. Period. See, God have a way to cut off people. You know, this is the try that many people were saying. Why does he still there? But you working for him, thinking that one day you're going to be somebody there. You are who you are because God wants you to be. I don't want nothing from there. I have my life that I want to be successful here in America so that I can have the foundation to start helping people over there. That's what I know. Anything beyond this is only belong to God. I have no say to it. But I'm only passing the message as it is. And I hope he got the message. Now, we see how God have blessed the sons of Abraham, the father of nations. When Ishmael was born, Abraham asked to God, what's going to happen to him now that I have Isaac? And then Ishmael have to leave my camp because Sarah asked for it. God said, don't worry about him. I will make him a great nation of 12 princes, and he will have enough. He will be conquered. You know, like a wife. I mean, people will come there because of the wealth are going on. Then God put a lot of wealth into that nation. So you see, we all every time talk about why those two countries, why Palestine and Israel. It's all about that. Our world is all about that. Who could imagine that the economy of the world depends on those two nations? The people who manage the money in America are the Jews. If somebody don't know that, maybe you live in a different planet. The people who manage the money in America, who have the biggest companies, the most wealthiest people in this world are Jews. Now, the Trump administration is surrounded by Jews. Period. Now, they own big businesses that people work for. Now, the money is coming from the Ishmaelite generations to go into the hand of the Israelite generation. So it comes back to those two people. And the entire world economy depends on American economy. So what are you guys missing? You don't understand. It's all about God. See, God knows how he do his things. So the money goes from the hand of one of the children of Abraham into the hand of another children of Abraham to control the world economy. It's only Gabriel and Daikon who have difficulty, to see those things. We are worried about waking up and going, I got a job. Do you know how to create a job? Do you know how to appreciate what you have? Your job should not be your God. Jesus Christ should be your God. But I see people today, they're walking out there, they believe that they are better than somebody because they have a job. Wrong conception, wrong analogy, evil analogy, craziness, madness. If it is what you have in your mind, if it is what you have in your brain, I wanted to tell you, nobody is never right with God. So I'm saying to you, you are wrong. Only God should be ahead of everything that you think of. Trump didn't do magic for the Saudi to invest the way they did. God did. God did because Trump was the chosen one. He have he was the right person for that, for the right time. Because when God wanted to help you, if God wanted to help me, this is how I work. Because you guys don't know I work. Many people talking about, I'm not ministering. I don't want to be a minister or pastor or nothing. I want to be Gabriel and Daikon talking about God and my knowledge in science, in critical thinking, in knowledge, in wisdom, and all of that. That's what I do. That's my ministry. Okay? Religion are the thing of this earth. I am not part of your rulings. I am part of the kingdom of the heavens. That's how I function. When God wants to give money to a person who don't have, he does not give money by magic. God don't work like that. He's going to use somebody who have enough. And that person, he will touch that person's heart and that person will give to you. That's how it functions. That's how the kingdom of heaven functions. That's how the bank in heaven functions. It means God would have given financial growth into Saudi Arabia for a certain period of time. Now, the economy in Saudi Arabia is not as strong as it's supposed to be because the oil industry is not as much profitable like it used to be. Now, the right time come where the Saudis said, now it is time for us to invest the money that we have earned from those past good years into a place where we know that the economy is good. They have capitalism, so they invest into those areas. That's what you do. So God used them. Use somebody to help you. That's how God functions. So he poured money into one so that that person, when he touched those people's heart, he touched those people's heart. Say, okay, touch those people's heart. Okay, we can invest. Okay, we can invest more than 200 billion. I mean, maybe it's even close to a quarter trillion. It's crazy. It's crazy. But that's what they have to do, but because that's the time, that's the moment. And that's why Jesus Christ said, this is the moment where Israel will prosper than ever. Because that money, it will go into where? The Jew hire companies. It will boost, they will manage it well, they will make good interest to it, and they will give back the money with interest into the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Because the Jews are good at managing money. It is a gift that God gave them. See, so the children of Ishmael, they have the blessing of the wealth of the nature that was given by God. But the children of Israel, God gave them intelligence on how to manage money. So that's what they do. So they have intelligence in intelligence security, in technology, in things, and they know how to manage money. They know how to make a profit out of dollars. So you see, that's what it is. God blessing is always and it will always come to pass, even if it come after generations. Even if it come after generations. God blessing is always God blessing. God blessing is always God blessing. We have to be able. God is the one who elected Donald Trump. The Russian didn't elect Donald Trump. It is something that Jesus Christ wants me to say to people. Those media people, they keep pounding into the Russia investigation. Russia did what they did because God used certain way to put his own choice into position. So God used what we call in ancient time confusion. He called confusion. Sometimes he make people of the same collide so that he can do his work. He did a lot in the Bible. And that's what is happening now. We are colliding. When actually, when we did that, God was placing his person. Because he knew there will be a deal like this that will be beneficial for the American economy. I see people saying that, they want me to get into ministry. I have no interest. And I spoke to Jesus Christ. This is not my path. My path is to be in a word of knowledge and share my knowledge to people, my scientific knowledge to people, according to God's word. Remember, and this is a message I would like everybody who go to church, who claim to be people of God, never use philosophy and even other method to try to manipulate the word of Jesus Christ. Never do that. Many people do that. When Jesus Christ said what he said, when God's Spirit stated what he stated, they knew everything from the beginning. So you are not to surprise them or to make them know something they never knew. They knew you. They knew what you're going to say before you were even born at that time. So when God said, Jesus Christ said what he said, he mean what he said, because it is complete statement. When I say complete, it means you can do whatever you want to do about it and you come back to that conclusion. So the Bible says God gave man the authority to govern themselves and the world, the animal, the trees, everything, according to his word. According to his word. That's something that many people are removing. You govern yourself according to God's word, not according to our will. It is written. But many people want to use philosophy, they want to use all of this, and they start putting God's word aside. God said, I was looking at Saudi Arabia today and I see how those people that love women, they respect women in their religion. Because he go back into the mother of Ishmael. Because Ishmael truly grew up with his mother, which was that Egyptian woman, the servant of Sarah. So that's why he come back to it. He go back to it. That's why they have a lot of respect for mothers and women. But they are very, very, very strict about the position of a man and the position of a woman. And it had nothing to do with slavery, with oppression, with it's just that. It is God who put it like that. Jesus Christ cannot say, woman, respect your husband, and husband, love your wife. And you come and you start trying to explain it in a different way. I hope people don't do those kind of things. Do not do those kind of things. Rosecroix, Freemason, Illuminatis, the Jesuits, all of those 13 sects, they are they are nothing when it comes to God power. They I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know if those sects even have a rank, even have a level of one of the branches of the government of heaven. You know, the council of a prophet in heaven, where the chairman, Father Abraham, they decide the future of countries. They make decision on who's going to be the first country in the world, who's going to be elected in every single country. They make those decisions. When you come and talk about, you got to talk about how powerful a woman is compared to a man and all of these things and crap and stuff. I am not somebody who function with the worldview. God don't see the race. God don't see the gender. He have principle in which he operates. That's something that men are missing. God do not see the race. God do not see the gender. Even religion, God don't see those things, but he have principle. God only have his principle that he look. And if the principle of God are complete, it means it cover everything because he's the one who created everything. There's no one here who can be intelligent than God. So when God says word, the best thing, the worst thing that a person could say that can make sense is that I don't understand it. That's the worst. The worst, you can go worse. I mean, you can say, well, maybe you can say, I don't understand it. Then this is comprehensible. Don't come and try to support it and argue with the reality of this evil word. People don't comprehend in our society today. I see many women out there, like, I'll make a joke. I see a woman out there, she wanted to show me how she have a man and I don't have a girlfriend yet. And she think that she can strike me. That's just an example. And I look and I said, if she only knew what was in my heart. You cannot impress me with that. First of all, you're not my type. And second, you don't have what I need. So, it's not impressible. To be honest, I gotta be honest, people. You know, honesty is very important that you say the truth, people. I live my life the way I live because I want to live this life. Because I stand with the word of God. When God says word is what's going to happen. I don't have time to waste with people who don't have nothing to offer. You know, you have no knowledge to offer. You have nothing to offer. Why do I going to waste time? I better waste time here learning, thinking, and making sure that these illegal recordings and illegal intelligence activities cease around me, so that I can start moving forth into what I was destined to do. Not what people want me to do, but what I was destined to do. You know, it is very important that today I came across a certain discovery, and I find out that the theory of Thales de Millet, that what they show to student, is equal to a number. He never wanted to say those numbers. Never want to say those numbers. The golden number we use in the pyramid, building the pyramids. That's the reason why the pyramid were made so perfectly. Because the golden number is the number that God used to create his universe. But in our institution, they rejected to show the people the true knowledge. We are all living in this world with false knowledge. We are all lying to. The reason why they never wanted to put the golden number into any book in in school is because he's always going to refer to God. And if you refer to God, nobody, no one, even the natures, can deny his existence. That's why. And I don't even think that they're close to accept it. Because when you start counting the Fibonacci numbers, the Fibonacci numbers are very spectacular because it shows the fingerprint of God in every single creation from the macroscopic one, organism, to even the earth. It shows the fingerprint of God because the Fibonacci numbers are part of all those calculations and parameters. Now you start understanding the reason why they don't want those numbers. Because if they come with those numbers, they are arithmetic that the teachers cannot explain the nature. Can explain the creation. It can explain nature, but cannot explain creation. But what? And that's how the devil is a good liar to people. And then the people are going over there and believe they live in the word. The devil wants you to just understand what you see. I mean, maybe even understand what you see. He wants you to be on the surface. The arithmetic, the mathematics that the teachers is based on the nature, on what we see, but have nothing to do with creation. Have nothing to do with the perfect number. When you take the Fibonacci count, explain everything that God have used the fingerprint. Look, even your fingerprint. Your fingerprint is based on the golden number. Unique fingerprint. What is so amazing about the golden number is that the golden number applies to all of us. Even if you're short, even if you're big, it just applies to you. Every single measurement will give you that number. The square root of 5 plus 1 divided by 2, 1.618. And I know that number is divine because when I do my spiritual calculation of sophistic reduction of numerology, it gives me 7, which is the divine completion to creation. So that is the golden number. It's all over our body. Measurement, how God designed our body. Measurement, how God designed the cell, how the cell going to develop based on the golden numbers. You can even see how we develop into the womb of the mother. We develop like a sparrow. And all of that is measured. Everything developed like that. Even the seed developed like that. Everything. Even the universe developed like a sparrow. Even our universe, everything based on that calculation. When you start counting the Fibonacci numbers from 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and you have that 13, you have 21, so forth, 29, so forth and so forth. It becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Bigger, 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 bigger and bigger. And you can't use those numbers for higher comparison. So from this place to this place, the distance is this. If you divide the entire circumferences of the earth by the larger number, from one point to another, it will give you that golden number. Within the entire circumferences of the earth, if you take 1 point, you put 1 point there on earth, you put only 1 point, and then you take the larger part of that entire orbital, divide by the smaller part, it will give you that golden number. That's one thing they didn't want you to know, because God have a fingerprint on earth. God modeled the earth. He designed the earth. Without that, we are wasting our time looking for planet where we're going to live. I just don't see it. But so far, many start understanding how the design was made from heaven. But not completely, because they can't. We only understand the blueprint from creation, but we still don't know how things were created. Truly. I mean, how to make things to be created. We might know how things were created, but we don't know, we don't have those products. We don't have that knowledge. The creation. We've been living in false teaching. Living in false teaching. If you take the length of your lips, the entire, you have all of this, and then you divide that by the largest part. If you take any point here in your lips, and then you take the length and you divide it by the larger part, that comes from the division of that. It gives you the golden number. If you take the larger part, you divide it by the smallest part, it will give you the golden number. If you take the length of this, you divide it by the weight of one part of one size of your nose, it gives you the golden number. It just every precision, and we have different face, we have different length, but it's the same calculation. It's just phenomenal, but they never want people to know about it. When the Bible says the devil is a liar, it's exactly what it is. But people think, well, he will come in your face and lie to you. No. He's using the nature to lie to us. And it's up to people to open the spiritual mind and start understanding it. Nothing we have studied in school explains creation. That's how the devil have duped us for generations. I can't explain how God made my head because I studied the wrong arithmetic and calculus. I can explain how God made my hand because I studied the wrong arithmetic and calculus. Now somebody called Thales the Millet, he went to Egypt, who used the same golden number and came up with the formula and said, well, this segment, the largest segment or the whole segment of the pyramid divided by the larger part of it is equal to the larger part divided by the small part. That's it. There's no number. How they fool us from the beginning. There's no number, because they know that explains creation. And that's what people are teaching. I'm telling you right now, people are teaching that right now. It's there in schools. No number. No, there's no number. It's just like that. Because they don't want you to know God have a fingerprint in our existence. Do you know that when you smile, your face forms a pentagon? That's also calculated by the golden number. Look how, and they call it the perfect number. The number of perfection. Look. Pentagon. Everybody. I don't care. Everybody was mad. It was calculated, and the Pentagon is uh, the figure of happiness, of perfection. Look, Pentagon, right there, and there, and God put it. Every single person who's mad, you have a Pentagon form. I don't care. You have a Pentagon. It was calculated by God using the golden number and the spiral. And they even tell you too, the wave, the ratio of the wave of two consecutive spiral give you the golden number. And our earth and our planet, our universe is made of spiral. If you start using the Fibonacci numbers, you start going into billions and billions. It is more easy for you to do calculation because you only one number is the sum of the two consecutive numbers. And if you take one number and you divide it by the preceding number, it gives you the golden number. Now if I go 1, 1, 2, 3, if you take 3 divided by 2, it gives you about 1.5. Now you go 2, 3, 5. If you take 5 divided by 3, it will give you about 1.6 something. And so forth and so forth, it will be around 1.6. If you take your hand, this length completely, and you divide that by the larger part from here, it will give you the golden number. If you take this entire length right here, and you divide that by this part, it will give you the golden number. You take your hand, this segment, this length, divide by that. Here, it give you the golden number. If you take your head, you take this entire length of your head, and you divide it by, you take a point here, you divide it by the largest part, it gave you the golden number. Just the way God structure us. You can explain the plants, everything of at this pure form. Even when we grow in our mother wounds, when you look, we grow in a spirit form. We are folded in spirit form. When you look the plants, the same thing. When you look how even the animals are formed, the same thing. You look the universe, the same thing. My friend, see, God exists. I was talking to a Hindu recently, and I said to a Hindu, "Do you believe in God?" She said, the person said yes, or he said yes. I said, "What do you believe God is?" The person said, "There's only one God." And then the person said, "God can manifest himself into many faces, but he's the same God." You see, that's how the devil lies to people out there in a degree that you have no idea. And I asked the person, if somebody called you woman, would you be happy? The person said no. If a person called you a man, every single time, would you be happy? No, because you're going to say, "I have a name. Man, don't call me like that. My name is Gabriel. My name is not man." So the devil is teaching people, even in churches, Call God God. God, man, woman is not the name of God. It's not the name of a man. It's not the name of a woman. Call God by his own name. You call me Gabriel Daikon. You don't call me man. That's for the changing God. And when people say God, the devil is saying good. Because when you say God, at this point, you don't know who. Amen. You have a series of people that everybody going to turn down and look at. All the men going to turn down and look at you. I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man too. Woman, all the women going to turn and look at you. I'm a woman. I'm a woman too. So when you say God, all the God, say I'm God too. See, that's how the devil disappoints people. God have a name. You call him by his name. Like, somebody called you. Now, I say another thing. I say, well, if God show in different faces, how can God going to show in different faces? My name is Gabriel Angel Daikon. So when I want to be called Daikon, I show with different faces that correspond to Daikon. When I want to be called Angel H, I show with different face that correspond to Angel H. When I want to be called Gabriel, I show you the face that correspond to Gabriel. It's the same kind of thing. God is not a magician. He put everything in front of us to find the truth. It's not because God is called Adonai, El Shalom, El Shaddai, El Elyon, Elohim, Yahweh have a way that El Shalom, different face, El Shaddai, different face, El Elyon, different face, Elohim, different face, Yahweh, different face, have a different face. No, it's the same God. Why you have all the intellect and the devil keep manipulating you like babies? Like babies, different gods. And God show up. Just have different faces. So Buddha is another representation of God. The demons, the gods that are in those religions are many representation of God. But it's only one. But he come to us in different faces. Oh God, please open the mind of people. Help them out. It's very simple. You have three names. How will you appear in different faces with three names? That's why you come up to the point that when you want to call God, you call him with all his names. Because if you call him by his middle names, let's say you call him Jah. If you call him Jah, and many people can say, my name is also Jah. You call me Daikon. Well, it's a very, very rare name. Everybody gonna wake up and say Daikon too. If you say Gabriel, many people might say, my name is also Gabriel. So if you call me Gabriel Jah Daikon, now it become very, very restricted. Most likely I might only be the only one lifting my head is me. Alright? That's the reason why you see people putting Junior in some people's names. So Gabriel and Daikon Junior. Now the Junior lift his name is me. Senior, that is me. You want to call God by his name, you call his complete name. Jesus Christ. You don't say Christ. Christ. Your neighbor gonna say, yeah, how you doing? Jesus Christ. Your neighbor gonna say, huh? You're talking about God. So you have to say his name. You have to say his entire name. And people go to church and they cannot say those truths to people. The fundamental of things when it comes to religion. When it comes to religion, do not rely into whether I go to church, it's not much time. I put my tie down. I praise God every single time. The cross have one mission. The cross is a symbol of one thing, love. The cross is a symbol of love. And God will say to you, life is all about love. Because the cross is a symbol of love. This is how the cross presents itself to people. The vertical love with God. The vertical love for God. And then the horizontal love for other people. That is the fundamental of the cross. You call yourself a Christian. If you do not have love for God and also have love for other people, forget about it. You are just like any other person. Because that is the fundamental of the cross. If somebody told you otherwise, please change church. Like I say, I talk to you again. I am not a priest. I am not a pastor. But I can tell you, many pastors out there who have hard time to even talk to me. Because I will tell them, the way I talk, the way I will answer them, they might think that they never went into to school to become wherever they are. To be honest with you, you have to know, in today's generation, we are not talking anymore about how Jeremiah did, how Elijah did, how Samson did, how Solomon did, how Isaac did, how Jacob did, how Daniel did, how Esther did, how Ruth did, how David did, how Samuel did, how Ezekiah did, how Peter did. We don't talk like that anymore. We're talking about, I have experienced the presence of Ezekiah. I have experienced the presence of Daniel. I have experienced the presence of Jesus Christ. The people want to go and talk. This is the new beginning. What will make you different than people before you? What will make you different than people who came 100 years? That you're going to start talking the same thing. No change. Yes, the Bible is a timeless book. I said that before. It's a living now book. A living forever now book. The story never changed. It's the same thing repeated over generations. There's a reason why God did that way, because it is the truth. That's another simple way to say the God is the truth. The Bible is the true book, because the story never changed. You have 66 books that compose the Bible. 66. I believe 27 from the Old Testament and 39 from the New Testament. So the story never changed. The story is the same. And God is there with people. And people spend their time explaining the Bible, but they like to talk about the fundamental of life. Love for God and love for other people. You lift your head up and you open your arm wide open for others. Why do you believe that we are made in the image of the cross? Look at the human body. To simplify the schema of a human, you only have to make a cross. And then you can add a little bit of the head and a little bit of toe and the hand. If God said to you, you are made in my image, and if the expression of you is the cross, it means God is the revelation of the cross, which make again Jesus Christ the truth. You don't have to do magic. So the cross has been there. God is the cross. God is the cross. It's the same cross that showed up when Daniel and his 3 friends was put into the hot fire. God appeared in that place in the form of a cross with his hand open, wide open, in the form of a cross. So the cross has always been in existence. That's the reason why Jesus Christ came and said, I came to testify the truth. So Jesus Christ came just to reveal what was already existing. But somebody have to be chosen for it. Somebody supposed to be chosen for the role. And he was the perfect candidate for it, to do the job. Now, I have certain people in churches who go around and teach people that Jesus Christ is not God. I want to clarify that today because many of you are very ignorant. Jesus Christ used that word today a lot. He used that word a lot today. He will surprise you. You will not Jesus Christ using that word. Are you sure you the true Jesus Christ? Yes. He said, yes, I am the true Jesus Christ. Look at me when I was talking to those Pharisees in the Bible. Don't only look at me in the good time, because I have to speak the truth. I am not here to please people. I am here to please God. I was here to please God. And I will be here to please God. So look at me in those states. He will say that to you. Jesus Christ. He came. He used that word ignorant a lot. The ignorant people. Because ignorance is a crime for the development of a civilization. Ignorance is a crime for the development of a civilization. Ignorance is a weapon of mass destruction against the development of mankind. It's something that people have to know. The more ignorant people are, the more dangerous a society can become. Because mistake, the state of the mistake is high. That's why Jesus Christ pinpointed a lot about ignorance. He always said the ignorance of people. Well, the ignorance of people do not mean that people are ignorant. Well, because you want to well say that is what it is. We people who go around, somebody like me, I have studied scientific proof that Jesus Christ is God in a flesh, in a spirit form. I have biblical proof of it. I have physical proof because Jesus Christ visits me every single day. Sometimes 2 times, 3 times. Okay, in his spiritual form. Now, the point that many people don't understand, even people who say that Jesus Christ is God, they don't know how to explain that so that they can persuade people. Because it is easy to say Jesus Christ is God because he's a son of God. Well, not everybody gonna take that, exclusively people who have critical thinking. Now, first of all, Jesus Christ is the testimony of the truth. From what was done during the Mosaic time to the Abrahamic time, the sacrifice of animals, fresh blood into God, have changed into the sacrifice of a human being blood to God. And that was Jesus Christ. It is not a coincidence that Jesus Christ died during the Sabbath day, the day where the high priest made a big sacrifice of animal to God for the liberation from slavery in Egypt. That was the same day Jesus Christ was crucified. It means God's state. I haven't forgot about my Abrahamic people, but this is the new beginning. This is the new beginning. Because as the Torah said, the covenant of the nail is the head of the revelation. That's what the Torah means. This was the transition time when Jesus Christ died at the same time. And the curtain at the synagogue have to come down. See, this is the new beginning. This is the New Testament. This is the beginning of the New Testament. And the blood of Jesus Christ went down to the covenant that was hiding 600 years before he was crucified and hit the surface of the Ark of the Covenant that God had with Moses and the people of Israel. So the blood of Christ is what God needed now at that time and forever. 2, pay the price. In a spiritual word, take the power back that Lucifer had on us. The sacrifice of the blood of a human being was necessary. You guys don't understand. Let me repeat again. In order, you see, to destroy is easy, but to rebuild is difficult. To destroy is easy, but to rebuild is difficult and painful. If today, just go back 9/11, it took only a couple hours to destroy the Twin Tower. It took about maybe a decade to build it. See, simple example. Now, it took only Lucifer to persuade Eve and Adam at the Garden of Eden. Just talking sense, no critical thinking. But it took only that for Lucifer to get the power that God had put into us spiritually for dominion. God created us to have dominion over everything, even in the spiritual world. We have dominion in even dominion over angels. So when Lucifer took it, we have dominion anymore against the devil in the spiritual world. You go in the spiritual world, you start talking, the devil will ask you, you talk to me like that in the name of who? I got the power from you, human being. That's the reason why many people went to hell not well judged. And when Jesus Christ died, the first place he went to hell first to free those people. Jesus Christ didn't went directly to heaven. He went to hell. So the earthquake that happened when he died was for 2 reasons. There was a fight between angelic power and demonic powers. And as a consequence, beneficial consequence was that the ground must open directly into heaven so that Jesus Christ can go in and free the people that God have ordained to be free. They were like sent, people who were like sent, who have done well, but were only judged by Lucifer because he had the power. They were there. And Jesus Christ freed them. They were praying. Jesus Christ came and freed them and went up into heaven with all of them. So that's how Jesus Christ went back up. Now, Jesus Christ is the truth. In a spirit, I wanted to cheat to everybody who believes Jesus Christ is not God. They don't understand what's going on. They don't comprehend the critical thinking behind it. I am a human being. A woman is another human being. In terms of human being, I am equal to a woman because we are all human beings. I am equal to a white person because we are all human beings. I am equal to an Asian because we are all human beings. I am equal to an Indian because we are all human beings. Now, the difference between us is our function, the way we do things, the way we smell things, the way we like things, our culture. That's the only difference. Now, translate that into the Holy Trinity. Jesus Christ is equal to God in his being as a spiritual being, like you are equal to the woman or as a human being. Spiritual being, they are equal. Why? Because the spirit became one. And in the spiritual world, when the spirit of one become one with another, you are one in everything. It means when Jesus Christ's spirit became one with the spirit of God, God showed him how he made creation. God showed him all the secret up to where God wanted him to know. So that's what Jesus Christ can come and say, I was there when you created. I was even there before you were even created. Because he speaks now as one spirit with God. That's what many people don't understand. So Jesus Christ is equal to God in his being, like you are equal to a woman as a human being. Now you are different from a woman. Function. You look now, New Testament, in a function. It means that you have things that you do in a certain way. Women have a thing that do in a certain way. God put an order in a family. The men answer to me, and the woman answer to the man. But the man must treat his wife well with love in order to have that good covenant with me. And the woman must treat the man well so that she can also have a good covenant with the man and me. So I can bless her more. You see, women have the XX chromosome have something special on it. The XX chromosome have something even spiritual. Women have a better connectivity in the spiritual world. It's like using the gold to transmit frequency or electricity. Gold is the perfect material. It's the same thing when you want to do a lot of prayer, a lot of things, you take women's, exclusively those that are virgin. So that's the reason why Lucifer chose the woman. Because he knew he have to destroy that. He have to destroy that. And he put a seed of evil a little bit during that time. That's why you see many of our generation today, all the women, they're acting, they don't know who they are. They want to become men. They want to become power of the word. I understand that I comprehend it, but it is against the word of God. If you look deeper, if you have a problem of being born a woman, you pray to God. Why are you creating me a woman? Well, now we have science. You can become a man if you want. When you die, you answer to God. It's also another path. If you're a man, you don't want to be a man, you want to be a woman, you have science now. God gave options. God gave us options. And you answer to God when you get there. Because everybody who wanted to change the establishment that God has put in place is going to answer to God. You want it or not, you answer to him. Because the Bible is very true. The Bible is true. The Bible is true, people. The Bible is completely true. So as the family that God has established, so the Holy Trinity. Jesus Christ is equal to God in his spiritual beings, but is different from God in his function because he's a second in command as the Son, and God is the first in command as the Father. Like the men have a role that God has given in the Bible, and the women have a role. But they are all equal to each other because they are all human beings. President Lincoln put it very, very, very simple. He said, if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, if A is equal to C and B is equal to C, therefore A is equal to B. It's very simple. That can be applied to everything in life, in reality, in everything. If we are all equal to the same thing, it means that we are equal to each other. A female, human being. A man, human being. Therefore, a man and a woman are equal as human being. Now, a man have a function, a woman have a function. That's the difference. Because every single function of those two are specific. Jesus Christ became, his spirit became one with God. In a spirit, when you become one with one, you are one. Now the function differ because Jesus Christ have a limit when it comes to God. But he's a second in power. It means the knowledge that Jesus Christ have, nobody in the kingdom of heaven have that beside God, who is above the knowledge that Jesus Christ have. So after God is Jesus Christ. So he's God. He is God, not even a God. He's God in his spiritual being. But he's different from the Father in his function. I hope people understand it. Because I say, people say, no, don't say it anymore. No, he's God. Because his spirit became one with the true God. And in the spirit, when you become one with another, you form a one. That's why they say the Holy Trinity is one. Because the Spirit of God became one with the Spirit of Christ and the Holy Spirit. All one. That's why they form the Holy Trinity. And even go and remember, when the Pharisee asked Jesus Christ, he was still on earth, but that was a synopsis of what I just mentioned. He said, the Pharisee asked Jesus Christ, in what authority you forgive a man other than God Yahweh? He said, if God Yahweh can forgive, so the Son can also forgive. So what he was saying, it is written in your Bible. If God can forgive, I am the Son of God, I declare, I can also forgive. Because God is pure. If you have the gene of God, God don't do half-half. He do 100%. So even in flesh, Jesus Christ have a genome. People will talk to talk. Do research. The genome of Jesus Christ was different than any human being who ever existed. The genome of Jesus Christ was different. The father of Jesus Christ, based on the genetic finding on the Ark of the Covenant, when they find his blood, sacrificial blood of Jesus Christ that was given to God, that blood actually spiritually was transcended into the heaven. That blood is still dripping today for our transgression against the law of God. Every single time that we do bad thing, that blood drop. That blood is in the center. It's in an altar. It drop. It pay the price. Because it is easy to come and speak to the devil, but you're never gonna leave the door of the devil the same way you came, because he doesn't do business like that. Many people, you wanted to be great, you wanted to be above all, You want to be this, you want to be that. You want to conquer the world. But you have to remember the truth of this word. You can study everything. You can be the best of everything. But Lucifer have the word in his hand as I speak. He doesn't have the last word, but he have the word in his hand. I want people to make that difference. Lucifer don't have the last word, but he have the word in his hand. It means the government, everything that you possibly have your hand on, went to him. He have his signature on it. All creation, airplanes, all of that, cars, everything, clothes. Men went to him to ask for extra knowledge instead waiting for God. But that was also God's plan. You have to know that. An example of what I just said, because many people don't understand. There was a tunnel, the largest and the longest tunnel in Europe. That's on the ground, built from Switzerland into pretty much the other side of Europe. They went down. It is a true story. It's recent. They have to go to Lucifer, because what happened is when they was digging down, they couldn't break down a stone. That stone was too tough. There was no technology that we have that can break that stone so the road can continue. True story. They have to go and invoke Lucifer and ask him to help them to break the stone. You see, everything that you have, the car, the road, all of that, he have his signature on it. Something you have to know. He have a signature. He break the stone. Okay? Now he asked for sacrifice, because he always asks for sacrifice. Many engineers that work there, many people work there, they lost like 7, which is a very mystic number. But that day, because they lost a lot of people, they fool him, because we can also fool Lucifer, but you only fool him instantly. That's all you can do, because he only know at a certain point what God wants him to know. And if you tough in faith, he only gonna know what you want him to know. So he asked for a human being. So they're supposed to send a human being on the other side. As soon as you cross, you're done. So they sent an animal. So when the animal crossed, he was killed. So when Lucifer realized he was an animal, he got peace. That day, he requested. He almost tried to destroy the entire world. He was trying to destroy the entire tunnel. So, because among those workers, there was a Christian, a true Christian, Lucifer was willing to take a stone and destroy and kill all those people. But that guy did something. He came forth and he put a cross on the stone. He put a cross, just a cross. He came like that and put a cross. When he put the cross, Lucifer was not able to lift that stone. And Lucifer flew away. But like I said before, the devil never lived like that. So now, he came and he said, because you came to defy me, you're going to have to do this in public. That thing was on TV in Europe. They show how people, there were leaders who were there. Leader from Germany, the actual chancellor, a leader from France, from Switzerland, prime minister, all of them, they were there. doing ritual, demonic ritual, just because they want civilization to grow. So you have to know, when I see people around, they're talking about job, thing or this, remember, Lucifer have signature in every single thing. Even your clothes that you wear, the car that you drive, the airplane that you take, everything, he have his hand. See, many of us believe that if you go to school, you can do innovation. Yes, you can. But, God gave us limitation. God gave us limitation. We have limitation. There are certain knowledge that we cannot by ourselves have. Because everything have a time. So, in the course of it, some of us in the past, they went to the higher authority in the other side to ask for that knowledge that today we are benefiting. That's why Lucifer have a lot of weight in decision making here. That's what happened. And many people suffer. They don't understand what's going on. But you're going to ask me, where is God in all of this then? Because when Jesus Christ say, come to me, all of those who are thirsty, people think, oh, he's talking about people who are drinking water. Or people who don't have water to drink. That is a blind understanding of the word of God. That's not what God is talking about. He's talking exactly about what I just said. Come to me, all of those who are thirsty. He's talking about the knowledge. He's talking about this and that, those things that I mentioned. The point that people don't wonder about God is that he takes time. He might even say to you, it's not the time yet for it. But now, what we always do, even the angel will tell you that if you go to the devil, it will work. The sacrifice will come along. Because that's what it is. Because what he does is that he go to God and he said to God, your people, they came to me to ask me for this. It is their free will. It's not my will. So I'm requesting you to grant access to it. That's what he does. And God already know. And God look at our heart and say, okay, that's the will. That's it. He gives him the authority and power to do it. But God will never accept Lucifer to come and lie. He cannot ever lie to God or force you to do whatever you don't want to do. Everything that is happening comes to us. We give him the free will to go before God and say to God, this is what they want. But sometimes you don't have to say anything to him. You just have to be great. And he don't like you. He will go before God and say, I want to destroy this guy. And depending on how God sees, he will always gonna comfort you and give Lucifer just what is needed to shake you up. To shake you up. He will never gonna accept Lucifer to kill you completely or to destroy you. He will allow Lucifer to bring you down, but not to destroy you. Because God always have a backup to lift you up. That's a version. So, for people who believe that God is just a God that you can call when everything is going well, I say to you today that the best time to celebrate God, to glorify God is during your hardship. Because critical thinking, what will make a man glorify God during the good times? Human beings are not wired like that. When everything are going well, We don't need the help of we don't see the help of God. We don't see the need of God. Everything's going well. You are even becoming your own God. It is natural in us. It's natural. Please do not try to lie to this. If everything is going well for you, what need of God you are looking for? Anything you'll be like, okay, I'm calling this is coming, I'm doing this is coming, everything's working well. Everything is working well. You don't need God for it. It is a natural process. And God knows that. That's why God allows bad things to happen to us so that He can accomplish what He loves to see. We go to difficulties because then we go to difficulty, we can look up for Him. It is only when we start going into difficulty that we start looking for God, because that's the best time. That's what people must know, that the best time, if you want to know that God is working in your life, it is when you go into challenges and moments of darkness, because that is the sign of His work in you. It's not when you have good thing coming. When you have good thing coming, it is a normal blessing that everybody is supposed to have. It was given at birth. It was given. But suffering, it is a blessing. Because when you suffer, God have attention in you. You have to know that. God have attention in you. God is interested to you. Is interested in you. Is working in you. Is a blessing. It doesn't work like that with everybody. It is sometimes very difficult for people to understand, to comprehend. Just say, well, God is a God of good. Yes. That's true. But you don't understand the virtue of good. Good have a lot of virtue. When God gave us the free will, it was an act of love. Because you're going to say free will is good. But in our human understanding, it's only good when it's working for us. But when the free will start working against us, it's not good anymore. You see what I mean? So, He put the free will there. But He sent Jesus Christ to say, they used to say before, do not do to other what you don't want to be done into you. Do not do to other. Do not do to other. You see, God said now, Jesus Christ put it well. Do to other what you want to be done into you. If everybody does that, there will not be a problem with the free will. Somehow, somebody is not doing that. That's the reason why you're complaining in your peace. Somebody is not doing that because of the free will. So God allowed free will as an act of love. I heard people say, why do God let leaders, especially in Africa, to stay there for long and kill people and stay there? I said, you think you're too much intelligent than God? God wants people to turn to Him. So God gonna use one person for that. And the person that you don't love, you don't want to see. But God wants an entire population to turn to Him. Because many people, they start looking, the devil is doing this, the devil is alone, the devil has power. He has no power. God wants people to turn to Him. So instead of looking at the person, you have to look what God wants us to do here. You have to pray. Prayer is what removes people. Prayer is what moves mountain. The Bible said that. But it's not the mountain that you see, the physical mountain. It is the difficulties that you face. That's what the mountain of the Bible mean in the spiritual world. So people are there, they complaining instead of praying. A leader will blind you with drinking and all this, but when you start praying, he have no power anymore. Because you are a dominion as a human being. When you dominate in a spirit, when your spirit dominate other people, that is how you dominate them physically. Nobody never become a leader if spiritually he's not leading. Just not possible. Because he have to dominate the majority in order for him to be where he is. Because we are too much different. We think differently. We cannot agree. Somebody have to be able to dominate spiritually in order to have dominion over you. That's what those leaders do. They dominate your spirit and they have you. Now, the best way to fight those leaders is to pray. Because when you pray, it's a weapon that you're putting against him. And there's nothing he can do. So that's what people should do. Instead of staying there talking and believing that people are even more powerful than God. And people have a hard time to understand that yes, life, every single life is precious to God. Every single life, like the Spirit of God is here right now, overwhelming. Every single life is special to God. But God will allow what he doesn't like to achieve what he like. Sacrifice have to be made to advance. It's just what it is. So a leader might be there killing, doing what he's doing, because God is working on people. And he's also working on that individual. Remember, Paul is the most advanced. In terms of lining, in terms of a glorifying body, his glorifying body in heaven is brighter than many. He is very close to God. Paul is very close to God, Apostle Paul. But this is a person who used to be a killer of the follower of Christ. Why he was killing the follower of Christ? Because Paul had studied too much. His name was Saul. He studied. Today, if you translate the level of study of Paul, he was a PhD in theology, in Judaic theology, I call it like that. So he studied and he was thinking those people were breaking the law, the Mosaic law. So he was going against them, killing them. But that is the person who ended up having the most glorifying body, one of the most glorifying body in heaven. Why? Because he understood that God can use what is evil to achieve good. Joseph of the Bible said, you have used intended evil against me, but God used it for good. Because that's what God do all the time. You are complaining about situation. It's because you don't see the work of God. It will turn out for good. Why do I say all of these things? Because I have to say these things. Many people are very ignorant. Many people are ignorant. Somebody have a job and the job become like God. Jesus Christ is above your job. You can go to sleep today and don't wake up tomorrow. You can go to your job tomorrow and lose that job. You can be driving to that job and have an accident that paralyze you not to work anymore. So when I see people putting their identity into job, I say, God, please help them. You put your identity into a job. That is how wicked this generation is. That if God take that job away from these people, they will become, I don't know what adjective I can use. Either they will become crazy or they'll kill themselves. That is one challenge as a human being you have to understand. It should not be like that. Because you become slave of the system. The system will treat you the way they want because they know. They know that you consider what they offer as God. Many people have taken job away from me, but I'm still alive. How do you believe I'm still alive? If the job is God, but I'm still alive, that is not another proof that those things are just temporary. We have to focus on things that are unseen, that are permanent, than things that are seen. Placing your identity in a job, it is very dangerous because it is temporary. There is no job here that is permanent. The only thing that can be permanent here is your relationship with Jesus Christ. Because if you lose one job, he can help you to find another. It might take time, but in the meantime, he'll let you survive. He knows means. He knows how you do it. That's what it is. So I spoke. I requested that blessed be the president over there to do what he does. He is doing a very good deal of investment. The deal of building, of making sure that the two-state solution are put in place. Saudi Arabia, the kingdom of Saudi Arabia to Israel and into the Vatican. There's a reason for it. Because I can assure you that after that return, you're going to start hearing about the two-state solution deal. Or whatever they will come up with. Or with respect to those two places. Those two places. It is very normal. It is very, very clear that people should support him. We should let go of all these things. Of madness. We have to wait 4 years. We have to wait 2020, and beat him there. If you guys want to beat him so bad, wait 4 years. The energy that you guys are spending, you guys can build it. You guys can use it to build something better for 2020. And wait there. That's what you're supposed to do. So it is very it is very funny that I see somebody that people neglected making the greatest deal ever made in America history, even in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia history. Never made before. So maybe we can say whatever we want to say, but so far, as far as I'm concerned, God is with that guy. That's what it is. So I hope that people can go to my website www.njohmedfounded.net or www.charitymedfounded.org. I am open for any email feedback. People can go there and put their comment. I'll answer to that as well. So when I have time, and I just wish that people will have access to the video. So again, I can be reached at Instagram, LinkedIn, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, uh, Pinterest, and Tumblr as well, and also any social media that you might get out there. You're pretty much gonna find me, I'm pretty sure. So this was not an emotional presentation. It was, and it is, a practical presentation, because I have a channel that I like to listen, but I asked them to invite me, they never did. Why? Because broken system. People who want to teach what please people to listen, and they don't want to teach what please God. If there's nothing between, you cannot say it, I will teach what please the people and please God at the same time. Now, you have to minister or deliver the word that please God first. And whatever please God should please man. If it doesn't, it's because some of them still do not want to free themselves from evil. But when you avoid me, thinking that you are walking with the right people, I don't know about those people, but what I know about me is that every single time I pray, I feel the presence of the Holy Spirit and the Spirit of Jesus Christ. Not that I feel present. So if I was saying something that was wrong, I don't think that I have the power to persuade or to corrupt the heaven or anyone there to support me. So I'm starting doubting the legitimacy of that radio station. I'm starting doubting them. Not because I believe, but because I was supposed to receive a call more than a month ago. I haven't, and I left a couple of messages. So I doubt the legitimacy in terms of their faith to Jesus Christ. You know, having diverse opinions is another way to express divine love. So thank you very much again. This is Gabriel Icon of the Catholic Global Consulting, the Charity for Medical, Pharmaceutical, and Innovative Technology. And I hope that I see you next time. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Muchacho. À bientôt. And I see you. On se voit la prochaine fois. Get to my website, and then you might be able to Talk to me. Reach out as well.